What's going on, guys? Vic VP back with another Gamecase Arcades video. On this one today, we're going to be checking out this revive that I did on this very heavily Chinese cheap Bartop that I was acquiring from a company that has several of these. And yeah, revived it. Now it's got 26,000 games. And it does have a coin acceptor on this, so you could charge money for this. Let's take a look. It's loud. I'm not used to sitting down, so I'm back to standing up. But yes, you know the drill. If you're not following me on all the socials, what are you waiting for? Be sure to follow me at Vic_VP. Follow that. There's a convenient Linktree link down below. Go there, click it. You'll see the website and you'll see all the links to socials. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Be sure also like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of this heavily. I'm not BSing it. This is a heavily China-based Bartop system. I've gotten so many emails from overseas distributors or even the creators of these things trying to get me to sell these units. Yeah, just like I said, let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think about this with this whole interesting, you can't really see it there, but I'll show you around. It's got the coin door, coin acceptor on this one. But yes, what are you waiting for? Go follow on all the socials. Also, quick note, I do post a lot to YouTube Shorts, but sometimes there's videos that are just too short or they're too long. So videos that are short, they go on Instagram stories. Videos that are long, the longer version of a YouTube short is on TikTok. So you should go follow all the socials. Go follow. Now, we're doing the dance with the camera. I'm moving you around so you kind of see it. I don't want to take the bar top off the table because I have it on the table. But yes, there's a lot going on here. Vic, what is going on over there? Well, throwback. I don't know if you guys remember a video that I made as I bought a 4-player arcade cabinet. At the time, I didn't know the company, but it was an Arcades Are Fun cabinet. I made my video on it and I sold off that cabinet as is. I didn't do anything to it. You can go back on my videos. You're talking like 2 or 3 years ago. It is back. It's back. The owner of the cabinet called me up, said, "Hey, Vic, man, it looks like the computer that was in it, it's giving like a no hard drive found error." So I went to the house, picked up the control panel, and I picked up the PC. This PC is, I haven't even tested it to be honest, but I didn't realize it, but I think I did realize it in the video. There's not even a graphics card in this. So, you know, buyer beware. Buyer beware on other builders. Figure out and understand, not figure out, understand exactly what you're buying. Again, when I sold this cabinet, though, I did tell the customer what was going on. And I told them that I didn't make this build. I just wanted to see it. My plan was to take the cabinet design. And as you can see, I didn't go that route because it was just too big of a cabinet and the wood and all that. So no, that's a little backstory on that. So this right now is going to get a new PC. And I'm contemplating, this does have an iPad 4-player in it. I might be pulling that out and going with my traditional way of doing stuff. So I don't know just yet what I'm doing is with this, but yeah, this will have just a whole new PC, probably a 4 terabyte arcade build on that. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about this right here. This Chinese, yes, it's a China Bartop. It's a Chinese cabinet. I'm going to tell you how I acquired this, basically what the deal was, and basically how I found it. But I'm not going to mention the company name. It's very funny. Where I live, about like a mile away, it's pretty close, there is a company that sells arcade games. And I always drive past this building. It's a very big building. I always drive past it, and I always see he's had 4 pinball machines, real pins. He's had 1 virtual pinball machine, which I could catch right away that it's one of these Chinese branded virtua cabs. And then he also has a couple of 60-in-1s. He also has a couple of the 2-player and 4-player cabinets. So basically, long story short, how I acquired this company was selling off a pinball machine, a real pinball machine. for dirt cheap at $750, a Gottlieb Rescue 911 for $750. I saw it and I was like, ooh. And then I saw the name of the person and I recognized the name because I actually messaged him a while back when I first moved into the house and all that. And I went there. I actually went to this building, quite a massive building. I was very shocked by it. He did tell me that he sold Rescue 911. I did go and play it on Virtual Pin, so at least I was able to experience 911. But while I was there, he welcomed me with open arms and he wanted me to, you know, we were just hanging out, talking business, and he showed me this warehouse. I'm telling you, it was crazy how big, and it was loaded with stuff. In his showroom, he's got a couple of games. He had this here. This one unit was in the actual showroom. I'm going to talk about that later on. But I then was able to go behind the scenes. I was able to go into back rooms and into basements that went into another sub-basement. And the first basement, he called it the graveyard. He had quite a few arcade games, some original real arcade games, and then some of these Chinese-based cabinets that basically he said to me, Vic, I use them for parts. And some of them had stickers, some of them were labeled good, some of them were labeled like bad monitor. It was just crazy to see that there was this huge warehouse of graveyard pieces, some of them missing buttons, some of them missing joysticks. He basically would tell me, Vic, if I have, let's say, a button that was out on this cabinet, I would go to the graveyard and I would pick a button off of it and swap it out as that unit is dead or there's an issue with it. So very interesting kind of way to, I don't know, have cabinets. I don't know. It was very interesting, but let me explain how I basically acquired this. Now, I was at this place for about an hour, a good hour and a half, just walking around. I was asking some questions because I'm personally looking at maybe opening up a arcade. I was looking at, rentals and storefronts and all that. That's something for another day. But we got friendly. I was talking to him. He did introduce me to another worker that was there. And we were basically going over, he's like, hey, Vic, what do you do? How do you do it? How do people find you and all that? That's what everybody asked me. Vic, how do people find you? I'm like, this. Videos like this is how all my customers find me, and I'm grateful for that. So we were just going back and forth. A couple of his units that he had, they all had older Pandora boxes. They had Pandora box 4 or 5 in them. And I mentioned to him, I was like, I have my Pandoras are at 26,000 games. And the guy's like, do you mean 2,600 games? I'm like, no, this is 26,000. And he's like, oh man, our cabinets have 2,000 games in them. And I'm like, yes, but you can't be fixated on the game count because there will be several duplicates. So really, I always say on this Pandora box that I'm on now, 26,000 games, you're probably really at 20,000 games because you have quite a few copies of King of Fighters 2001 and Street Fighter 2. I always mention that in my videos. We were talking. Anyway, I go there and I actually said to him, I was like, hey, I have a Pandora box because the worker was like, you have 26,000 games? I was like, yeah. I was like, I have a Pandora box at home. I'll come tomorrow and I'll bring this to you and you could see it. So again, I wasn't sure if the worker was handy or if he was the tech side of things, but I went there. When I got there, the worker wasn't there, but the owner was there. So I've been talking with the owner this whole time. So just being friendly and all that. And I laid eyes on this Bartop here while we were talking in the showroom. And basically, we're just walking around the showroom. He has a couple of real cabinets. He's got a need for a Fast and Furious. He's got a Fast and Furious 2C driver. He's got an Aliens Extermination, the mounted gun game. That, the one I had, that had 3 games. He only has 1 game in it. Behind that was this. And I said to him, I was like, what's the deal with these? You have a lot. I remember seeing in your graveyard, there was a good 12 of these inside the graveyard. And again, some of them missing buttons and all that. And he's like, well, Vic, this is the showroom. So I have this one here and somebody that wants a bar top, I could show them this. I said, okay, cool. Can you turn it on for me? And it turned out he's like, ooh, it's actually gutted. The Pandora box that was in this was gone. And I was like, what are you going to do with it now? And he's like, it's just going to sit until he said, I got to find another board. So I was like, if you want to show your other employees, if you want, I'll take this. Give me a couple of hours and I will modify it and I'll put my Pandora box in it. He goes, Vic, go ahead, be my guest. So no money was exchanged. I took this and modified it. It makes for a good YouTube video. When I do drop it off to him, though, he said to me, Vic, I'll take care of you. Don't worry, because I sent him a picture of it after 3 hours of working on it. And he's like, what? He's like, what do I owe you? So we're going to discuss that later on, because this might turn into either like a friendly kind of thing. I don't really know how friendly per se, because I don't really need anybody. He did offer me, he said, hey, Vic, if you build me a buy Vic, I'll put it in the showroom here. And I'm like, I don't like to work that way, because then you want a commission off of something that I made, and I don't want that. I don't need to put it in a showroom to get like people's attention, because I have luckily my socials and the YouTube channel. So whatever. It's good to have friends. It's good to be friendly with people, and why not? So here we are now, today, right now, modified. Now again, this was in his showroom and it didn't work. And, I honestly said to him, I was like, I always wanted to take one of these. I wanted to find one of these, because I personally got several emails. I get them like monthly from like 5 people overseas that offer me like either this Bartop or a full-size 2-player. Many times now I'm getting a lot of virtual pinball machines. And, they're selling them for like, let's say somebody like a V-Pin is going to cost like $1,600. I'm like, what the hell? With 3 screens, with the works, apparently. But I can already tell you, I already know it. But I was like, hey, let me check this out. Bought it home and went right to it. Now, I'll be honest, I'm a busy guy. I have 2 cabinets behind you. I have a full dedicated shooter that is going to be delivered this Saturday. I'm going to be making my videos basically tomorrow and on for that. So I'm busy. I was like, I don't really need to do this, but I was like, you know what? I could bang this out. I told him, I was like, listen, give me like 3 hours and I could get this done. And sure enough, that's what I did. Now, to educate you a little bit on like the internals on this, it's got joysticks. It's actually got a nice hinge to it. The interesting thing is the amp in the front. I'll be honest, this is eye-catching here because volume control. My bar tops from Game Room Solutions, they don't really have this cutout. But then again, like you don't really need this big of an amp. It is what it is though. But as you can see, I didn't even measure this. This to me is like a regular Game Room Solutions 22-inch, but his screen here is an actual 4x3 monitor, and it's a VGA monitor. I'll show you the rear on this. It's like your basic standard China cabinet. It's like a no-name brand monitor. It's decased, and basically, if this goes, you're probably shit out of luck to find a replacement. But yes. Anyway, the inside of this originally had a standard JAMA. It had an arcade power supply. Like I said, I'm going to show you the inside of it. Had a standard JAMA. So these newer Pandoras that I use, they're not JAMA, they're family JAMA. So I was basically talking to his employee because he's like, whoa, like, we could take our cabinets and make more games to it. I said, yeah, but it's work. All this is work. It's not a simple swap. You got to go from JAMA to family JAMA. What does that mean? You could either rewire it all, or like me, in this situation, I cut all the ends to the regular JAMA and then I soldered in the family JAMA. I cut the ends of the family JAMA and soldering. I mean, you're looking at over what? 12, you got 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and the 4, you're at like 20 to like 24 buttons, 24 wires times the ground. You got to resolder, basically, is what I'm trying to get at. So I told the guy, I said, listen, I make it sound easy. Oh, it's just a swap. I'll do it in 3 hours. That sounds easy, but it is work, and I've been doing this for quite a while that I could do the swap. Now let's talk about the actual cabinet itself. When I bought it home, what I discovered, 2 things really, and I was really mad at myself for it, but a good like 45 minutes, I had no audio. I was like, maybe his amp is broken. Maybe his amp is dead. I had an extra amp. I put my amp. I'm getting no audio, and I'm mad at myself because it took me this long. I said, how do I not have audio? Does this thing even have speakers in it? Took this off, and lo and behold, no speakers were in this. Again, consider this as, you would call it the graveyard. This was like a corpse, and it was being dissected. So the JAMA board that was in this maybe went to another cabinet. The speakers probably went to another. So there was no speakers here. And I was like, damn it. I was just mad at myself because it took me 45 minutes to realize that. Put 2 speakers in. Luckily, I had one on the side and I had one for my Pandora box. I'll show you everything. Boom, we have speakers and I lowered it, but pretty loud. The only thing now, I would say right now, this is 99% complete. The amp has RCA, so red and white, that is accepting audio in. His like, what do you want to call it? The male piece that goes into the amp. I can't tell if it's the wiring from the male piece or the amp itself, but sometimes it cuts in and out if you move it. Like meaning like if I transport this and I move it, I have to just kind of jiggle a wire and then we're back. So that's probably the only thing that really needs to be fixed on this. Now, real quick, as I mentioned before, this cabinet didn't have speakers, but I actually put in 2 speakers. One of the 2 was actually pretty funny because I do this quite frequently. I even have a YouTube video on how I basically gut the insides of these Pandora box control panels and put them inside of cabinets. I made a tutorial on it, and I do the same process if I'm modifying like an arcade 1-up or any Pandora box system that I make out. So again, this right here, it had no speakers in it, but these come actually with a speaker inside, one of them. So once I discovered there was no speakers, I took the speaker out of this, put it up here, I mounted it, and it worked. Like I mentioned before, I do these a lot. So I have like 2 extra speakers lying around, and I grabbed one from my storage stash, and there you go. Like I said, these come right out of eBay. The buttons and the joysticks are pure trash on them, but I'm gonna be giving this basically to the owner of the business just so that he could see, I guess, what I did. And yeah, there you go. A modified Pandora box inside of this China-based Bartop. Now, the reason I really wanted to take this cabinet home was because of this coin mech here. Again, these coin mechs are known. Once you see this, it's like, boom, Chinese-based cabinet. I really don't like these coin mechs. I was just interested to see this coin mech on this Bartop because it's such a small, compact thing. This unit, you could essentially put this in a commercial space and have it accept money. Now, again, these coin mechs I never use / I don't like it because you have to give power to this coin mech here. You have to give it 12 volts. So there's 3 wires that come out of this. There's your 12 volt positive, your ground, and the signal to make the coin mech or the coin insert on a Pandora box or even on a PC and all that to your encoder. But I could grab my quarter and it put the coin in. Now I could pick my game. I have this set up right now to coin play. That's the real reason I wanted this cabinet. I was like, oh, let me see this coin mech and all that. It's your basic standard Chinese coin mech. It's got like a box in the rear. Yeah, versus Capcom. Beautiful. Now, weirdly though, this does have, you can see it, this does have pinball buttons. And I laughed because I was talking to the owner and he's like, yeah, these buttons, they actually insert coin. So you could either have it set to coin play or you could have it set to insert coin from here. And I could do that right now. I could insert coins here. Kind of cool. Again, a Pandora box isn't like you can't put pinball effects on it. Ready, fight. Beautiful. Again, 8-way joysticks luckily on this. Hit him with a combo, good. And again, the really cool thing is the amp. I'll be honest, the amp being in front, it's pretty convenient. It's not like a main sail. I went into manual. There you go. Love it. Yes. The amp is cool there. Now, on this here, I have coin here. There's also another button here on the right. On a Pandora box, you can set that to pause. So you could either pause the game from here. You could even do the load state and the save state. Or I have it set to long press player 1 start. Also kind of a unique area for a start. And it'll bring you back to the menu. Right now, I don't have any money and I can't pick a game. I could set it to free play. That's where I'm going to let the owner know. He can set it to free play. Or I could just tap that and play some Vampire Savior. Why not? Awesome. Now, real quick, I just saw, I was like, oh, I didn't film my video. Let me make a mention of it. Somebody commented on the YouTube short I made on this, and they realized that the screen was off center. This right here, the screen only accepts VGA. So luckily, my Pandora box has HDMI or VGA out. And I was like, oh man, you're right. It's off centered. I noticed that. And And I said, oh, let me see if I have inputs on the monitor itself. And sure enough, I was able to horizontal and vertical move it. It's just like I never had to do that ever. But yeah, apparently on this Chinese monitor, I had to move that. So I've never played Vampire Savior. Oh my God, this bee woman just kicking my ass. Hadouken, Hadouken. Everybody throws a Hadouken, right? There it is. There it is. Yes, okay, cool. All right, let me take a quick pause. Let me spin the cabinet around. Let me show you the inside of this. You got a good angle there. So basically, as you can see here, door opens. I'm gonna probably slide you over because yeah, you can't see anything. Let me slide you over. And you can at least see the insides a little bit. Awesome, we got you there. Awesome, cool. All right, so off the bat, you can't see whatever. Off the bat, when I picked this up, this arcade power supply was just floating in the wind. It was just like on the floor, just moving, it was there. So hard mounted this. As far as the power in, it already had the power going to it. Again, it had a regular JAMA in it. VGA wire was actually zip tied in pretty hard. It was coming over here though. Don't know why, but yes. Basically, long story short, modified it. You can see clean wiring, zip tied and all. It's got speakers and LED lights in the marquee. So this wire goes for speakers and LEDs up there. The real kind of cool thing is like your little coin box. I can get my quarterback. But yeah, that was interesting to see this, honestly. And then I had to hard mount my new Pandora box. So at least now, like, the owner is going to be happy that he doesn't have a dead unit. But now we could possibly talk about taking all of his dead units and then I will modify them for him for a fee, obviously. The only last thing I have to do is like, I have to bend the key here because it don't lock. It's like the lock here has to be bent. Somebody must have bent it. I normally would take this out. Fixed. Fixed it. Awesome. Great. But again, you got your basic plug. You got your basic plug that's here. If this, there you go. Good. All right. Could spin this now. We still have power to it. Awesome. Easy. The real kind of cool thing I was very shocked to see is that the control panel flips up. I'll bring you in close or I'll do some B-roll. The wiring before, very clean. Zip tied nice with some slack. Very clean. But I had to cut the zip ties because I was having issues with a couple of buttons not registering and I was like, what the hell is going on? There was basically some like extensions and they, no joke, I don't have the wire nuts anymore, but they had like, I would literally say it was like 12 ground wires, 12 ground. So 12 black wires in a wire nut and one going out to like the power supply ground. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I was like, why is there 12 grounds? But yes, real quick, let's take you inside here. I probably won't do B-roll. I'm just gonna bring you here. There you go. That is your wiring there. So again, I purposely left excess. So again, this is like the original JAMA. And then in here somewhere in this bundle, I have the, you can kind of see it there actually. I have my soldered and heat shrinked tubing. So yes, that's everything there. So player 2 has a nice bundle and player 1. You gotta always keep things nice, neat, and clean because that's how I work. Now again, the awesome part with this is you could put this in a commercial space. Actually, because you're there, can you see that? Can you see the sun fade on that control panel? I assume you can because you can see the whole, everything else is nice gloss laminate and colorful. And the control panel has fade. But again, the cool thing with this unit here is now you could put it in a commercial space and you could make it accept money. But reality, you're gonna have to find a way to mount this bar top to a table. Because in all honesty, let's be real, if you have this in a business and you just have it chilling on a counter, somebody's gonna pick this up. Somebody's like, bye, I'm gonna walk away with this arcade cabinet. Thank you for 26,000 games, I'm going home. But that's probably the only downside. It even still has like the, again, you got your chrome T-molding. It's got like the little plastic to it. But yeah, there you go. Cool, right? I always like that. You know, it's kind of crazy. Some people are like, what? You revived it? It was dead. Like how? Again, I have it set up. The Pandora box is set up after 3 minutes of no use. It will automatically exit out, or you could just hold player 1 start and it'll bring you back. My battery's gonna die, let me change the battery. Now to finish off the video and just to show you again, with the Pandora box and luckily with this type of monitor that's in this, it is literally just plug and play. Let it boot up and let it do its thing. Pandora boxes don't need a shutdown. They simply power on and they do their thing. So again, great unit for a commercial space. It's funny, somebody might be watching this and might be like, Vic, why are you helping out like a competitor of yours? I don't consider this person a competitor at all. He sells more of like the original cabinet slash bleh multicades, whereas I'm on a whole different level basically. But yes, there you guys have it. Vic VP, I didn't build this cabinet, so it's not really Gamecase Arcades, but I guess the Gamecase Arcade service side of me did it. So yes, Vic VP Gamecase Arcades. From dead to 26,000 games and probably will be sold in about like 2 days. Guaranteed. Sheesh.